Today I realized the difference between living in survival mode and healing. When I was living in survival mode, I know this now, obviously I didn't know this then. It was more about me and what I was dealing with, and it wasn't selfish. I was just being, I guess, more self-absorbed because I felt like I had to protect myself in every situation. But as I've learned to heal through the situations, the challenges, the people who have done me wrong, I'm noticing now that I'm so much more at peace no matter what. And I've also noticed that I'm a whole lot more observant of my surroundings, of other people. For instance, you guys know I've been in the health and wellness space for many, many years. So I notice when people are lifting a certain way, but I also really tend to hone in on when someone is teaching someone else how to lift. Now, I don't always correct or anything like that because, again, it's not about me, right? And I have to just be celebrating people for even trying. But when I see a younger person lifting strategically, like I could tell that there was some wisdom and some knowledge behind it. And I commended that person because not only were they lifting strategically and with wisdom, but they were also reading the Bible in between sets. I noticed that too. And they were also teaching someone else how to lift properly. This person couldn't have been more than 20, 21, maybe 22 at the most. I don't even think, probably not even, I don't even know. Very young. But I could just tell that they knew what they were doing, but they didn't learn that by themselves, right? Everything I've learned, I have not learned alone. It's been coaches, it's been teachers, it's been supervisors in the military, whether it was incorrect or correct, right? The wisdom comes from all of it. It's been mentors, it's been therapists, it's been doctors, it's been all of the things. And anything that didn't make sense, I took it a step further and I began to research. But I didn't just look up on Google, right? I actually went in and I took the time to research case studies, research what I needed to be looking for. So there's a reason that I've become the subject matter expert in some of these fields. It's not because of my own knowledge. It's because I've surrounded myself consistently with people who know more, that I can ask questions to. So when I saw this young person, I already knew that that's the type of person they are. And the fact that they're doing that at such a young age, I had to commend. So as I left out of the gym, I said, I don't see a lot of younger people lifting as strategically as you are. I said, good on you. And I said, also, good on you for teaching that to someone else. And you know what he said? He said, have a blessed day. And I said, you know what? You too. And I went about my way. Nothing else needed to be said, but it was a seed that I wanted to plant because I know the discipline that it takes to learn the things that we learn. And when I see someone utilizing that discipline and taking action on it consistently, especially the younger generation, I want to give them a good job. I want to let them know, like, hey, I see you. I may never talk to this person again. However, I did find out that they are my neighbor. Or at least they're friends with my neighbor. So I probably will see this person again. But whether or not I did was not important. What was important as me saying, hey, you over there, younger generation, next generation, I see you. And as a mentor who is getting closer to 50 in my age and who loves to pour into the next generation, that was important for me to say. But had I still been living in survival mode, I may have missed out on all of that because it would have been about me. I've become very observant these days. The more I heal, the more I observe. The more I stand back in crowds and I look around at all the people. Because we tend to live in this hustle and grind system. But when we actually take the time to pull back and observe, we can see so much more than we ever did when we just reacted. I'm sharing this with you today because I know that there's someone out there who is living in survival mode, and that's okay because I did most of my life because I didn't know what I didn't know. But once I hit rock bottom and I surrounded myself by therapists and coaches and mentors who could help me see the blind spots that I had and continue to have, because we all have them, the better I was able to get. The more I was able to truly see, because it's not about just seeing outwardly. It's about seeing inside our souls. The acronym S.E.E that I've been using for the last few years is support, encourage, empower. It's Ephesians 4:2. S.E.E goes to a different level when we're healing. We use our eyes differently for those of us who are able to see. For those of us who unfortunately might not be able to see with our eyes, we use our other senses differently. So we can still see. We can still acknowledge. We can still feel. And we can still keep going. I hope this message helps you today. And I hope that you share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Because we all need to know that we're on the right track. And all it takes sometimes is just saying, hey, I see you. Great job with what you're doing. Because hopefully me acknowledging that person will allow that person to keep going on the journey they're on. You never know. You just never know. Stay blessed. Keep going. Keep healing. And instead of just surviving, start learning how to thrive. Because when we start thriving, that's when we're able to accomplish everything that we ever desired to accomplish. This is your girl, Lady J. I will talk to you later.